Josh Frydenberg, welcome to Lateline. Just before we get to energy policy, I just wanted to ask you about the UK election result. Is there a lesson to be learnt here for Conservative politicians?
Oh, look, I think being an incumbent is a tough business these days. Regardless of the political party you represent, the electorate is volatile, and in the case of the UK, they've had obviously lots of different issues to deal with, from Brexit to terrorism, and certainly Theresa May's been a very good friend of Australia, and her relationship with the Prime Minister is excellent, and I'm sure that relationship will continue.
Okay, moving on to Dr. Alan Finkel's review into the electricity sector today. Will the government set the threshold for the proposed clean energy target at a level that will incentivise new coal power generation?
Well, let's not jump the gun here. What we have is a report to government. The Prime Minister, the Premiers, the Chief Ministers have received a report from Australia's Chief Scientist. It's more than 200 pages in length. The centrepiece of that report is that clean energy target you referred to, and obviously we'll need to consider it in detail before formally responding. We also, David, as you would appreciate, have our own internal processes, and a lot of my colleagues have firm views on these issues, and I wouldn't want to preempt any decision by the party or indeed by the Cabinet.
So what's your view as Energy Minister? Clearly you've had some more time to digest these findings. Do you want to see more coal-powered generation in this country?
I do want to see more generation, regardless of whether it's coal, gas, or indeed renewables, be they solar or wind or pumped hydro facilities. And that is why we adopt a technology neutral approach, and we want to do so in a way that ensures a affordable power system, a reliable power system, and one that is consistent with our Paris targets. There's certainly a role for coal currently and into the future, but what has been missing in our energy system over the last decade is the regulatory certainty whereby generators can make a 30 to 40 year investment, and hanging over them has been the political process, and hopefully the Finkel review will provide some sort of opportunity for more consensus across the political divide.
I know you say that the government and all parties need to be technology agnostic, and sorry to bang on about coal, but the reason it's important is because Bill Shorten has said that if this benchmark allows for new coal-powered generation, he called them a pipe dream, then that doesn't cut it for Labor. And we had Alan Finkel saying the most important thing is that we have a broad-based agreement that will endure through many electoral cycles. So you need that bipartisanship. That's why I'm trying to get from you, will this provide the certificates, the incentives for new high-efficiency coal generation?
Well, certainly there are no prohibitions from what Dr. Finkel has announced on new high-efficiency, low-emission coal-fired power plants that we've seen around other parts of the globe, including in our region. And as you know, we announced recently a move to allow the Clean Energy Finance Corporation to put in place carbon capture and storage.
So no penalty, sorry to interrupt, but you're not willing to say at this point whether there will be incentives?
Look, where the line settles on a clean energy target is one for down the track. We're not even at the point yet of endorsing as a government a mechanism as put forward by Dr. Finkel. We have internal processes to go through, but Bill Shorten always tries to walk both sides of the street. He goes down to the workers in the Latrobe Valley and he sheds crocodile tears for them when they lose their jobs and says he's all for more coal, and then publicly and privately he says other things.
But it could be those internal processes that you mentioned that could provide the biggest problem for you and for Malcolm Turnbull. Are you confident that this report delivers the framework for your own party to be on side?
Well, I'm very confident that people on my side of politics understand the necessity of providing more investment certainty. And you only get that, David, through a regulatory environment which encourages investment. And what Dr. Finkel has said today is that business as usual is a recipe for higher electricity prices and a less stable system.
Yeah, just on that, how much, and we're almost out of time, but how much would a CET save households compared to business as usual?
Well, Dr. Finkel has said today that his modelling indicates a 10% fall for retail or household electricity prices and a 20% fall for large-scale industrial
users. And in dollars
users.
for a household?
Well, you're talking hundreds of dollars over a period of time, and obviously it's much better than the current system whereby there is that regulatory uncertainty and we're not seeing the level of investment we would like to meet future demand.
Josh Frydenberg, we're out of time. Thanks for joining us on Lateline.
Nice to be with you.